In this demo, I'm going to show you how Kudu makes it easier to perform both real-time monitoring and ad hoc analytic queries on the same set of data. I'm using Zoomdata as the end-user interface because it natively supports Kudu and provides really fast visual analytics on both real-time streaming data and also on large volumes of historical data. Here at Zoomdata, we're excited about Kudu because it allows our customers to build this kind of application against a single data repository with a much simpler architecture than was possible before. Let's take a look at the demo. Here we've set up a table using Kudu storage and connected a data generator that simulates customer purchase transactions. We've also built this dashboard in Zoomdata that shows 3 different views of our Kudu table. In the upper left corner, we're just monitoring the size of the table. We're inserting about 150,000 rows per second. That's 9 million rows per minute. So after running for a while, the table has over 700 million rows in it. On the right-hand side of the dashboard, we'll do some real-time monitoring of this data stream. And in the bottom left corner, we'll do some ad hoc analytic queries on the very same dataset. But first, let's zoom into the real-time monitoring. This view is showing just the most recent 15 minutes worth of data. As the data flows in, you can see the topmost active list of product categories and how that list changes in real time as we monitor the Kudu table. The user can pause the live stream of data and then rewind to see what things looked like at an earlier time of the day. We can also replay the stream from that point in time and even speed up the replay so we can see the effects of the streaming more dramatically. Behind the scenes, we are monitoring this data in the Kudu table, so our single table supports this kind of real-time monitoring really well. But things get really interesting when we also use the exact same Kudu table for ad hoc and analytic queries over the full dataset. Let's run some analytic queries. We'll start with a simple bar chart that shows the whole table of hundreds of millions of rows, aggregated by the income range of the customers making the purchases. Note that we're running these queries live against the Kudu table. As I mouse over the bars, you can see that the data is changing because the rows are still being inserted into the table. As soon as data is inserted into Kudu, it's available to users for visual analytics with no latency. Now let's change the query and group by product group. Notice that as each of these queries executes, we're using a technique in Zoomdata called data sharpening that estimates the final results of the query and instantly shows the user that initial estimate. The chart then continuously sharpens and gets more accurate as the full query completes on the Kudu table. Next, let's add a filter to this query and limit our chart, in this case, only to purchases made by women. Behind the scenes for all these analytic queries, we're submitting lots of SQL queries via Impala. So it's great that Kudu is integrated with the Access engines like Impala and Spark that we already know and optimize for. Finally, let's zoom into one of these bars and see more detail just for jewelry purchases, this time broken out by customer income bracket. Again, the response time is fast because of that data sharpening technique as we execute all of these analytic queries. So to summarize, what you've seen in this demo is the ability to perform both real-time monitoring on a stream of data and ad hoc analytic queries over the full history of that very same data. Using Kudu as a storage layer is a much simpler architecture that makes these capabilities possible.